Hey, we're doing a Deadpool versus Wolverine, but I need you to explain to me who some of these characters are.
They have a description on the first page about each character. Can't you read?
No!
Why does that explain so much? Okay, well, you first have Logan, who's a mutant with enhanced super senses and healing factors that was exploited by Weapon X. And then you have Wade Wilson, aka the Merc.
We know about the dudes. Who are the chicks?
Well, it says here that you have Laura Kinney. She was bred to be the perfect assassin, and she put that life behind her. She has a little bit of Wolverine DNA, and yeah. And then you have Ellie Camacho, who inherited her ability from Deadpool, so her father's Deadpool, and she teams up with Taskmaster, being a really good assassin. Was it Burgeoning? Was that the one that you had a hard time with?
Oh, thank God, I thought it was Burgundy. So anyway, our story starts off. This family, they're boarding up the doors because these shadowy figures are coming to take their son. And then all of a sudden, they break in through the door. They kill the parents, and they take the son. For Wolverine and his daughter, Laura, to show up. And he's like, yeah, we got here too late. We're gonna have to do a team up. And Laura's like, we have to do a team up? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to call somebody in I don't like. Deadpool. And then we're rushed over to Ellie, to where she wakes up from having a bad dream. And her brother's there, and he's like, yo, mom made breakfast. You want some? And she's like, yeah. And then she gets a call from Deadpool after having some breakfast. And he's like, yo, I need you to show up to Deadpool and Daughters LLC. We got some work to do. And so she goes in there, and then she gets the information from Taskmaster. Taskmaster shows them where to go, so Ellie puts in the calculations in this teleporter, and then they teleport off. And on the page turn, they turn into their Deadpool selves. So now they're Deadpools. So Ellie Deadpool asks Wayne Deadpool what's going on. And he's basically like, kids are getting stolen because they're mutants. We need to figure that out. And then all of a sudden, Logan's there with his daughter. The Wolverine's all like, yo, if you have something to do with this Deadpool, your healing factor ain't gonna matter. And then Deadpool's like, oh my God, it's Wolverine! And then the daughters have some back and forth, and Deadpool's all excited because the daughters are having their first Deadpool and Wolverine team up. And then Wolverine goes, yo, we're gonna split up. Me and Deadpool over here are gonna go and take care of things. You and other little Wolverine, y'all take care of things here in town. And so little Wolverine and Deadpool are figuring out things in town, investigating the crime scene. So as we have little Deadpool and Wolverine running around town, we have big Deadpool and Wolverine running around the forest. And so while big Deadpool and Wolverine are looking around the forest, they have a heart-to-heart moment. Deadpool asks him questions about being a father. Wolverine's like, yeah, you're a pretty good guy. And then they get jumped by Agent X. And then Wolverine gets behind Agent X. He puts his claws up to him, and he's like, listen, I don't want to hear you and Wayne talk over there. And then Agent X is like, fine, let's fight. And then a whole bunch of cool fight stuff happens. Really cool fight stuff. Deadpool would be very proud. Just then, as they're fighting, Lady Bullseye shows up and pops Agent X away. Meanwhile, we find little Deadpool and little Wolverine looking around the town. And they see an old lady walk down an alleyway, and little Deadpool's like, we gotta go help that old lady. Just for that little old lady to be Lady Bullseye. And Lady Bullseye ends up fighting with them. And then she ends up losing the fight with them. So then, what happened in the previous scene just happened. And then now we're at where we're at now, to where Lady Bullseye and Agent X are talking to the King of Shadows. And yeah, that's what happened to this issue.
You could read all that, but you couldn't get Burgeoning?